Coaching is not just about your goals, and spirituality is not just about your beliefs. And together, they can transform your life. If you want to know how, let's begin.
Are you ready to shine? Come on, it's the shiny one. You got this.
Welcome back to the Shiny Minds Show, my dear Shiny Minds. Today, I would love to bridge the gap between coaching and spirituality, science and spirituality, and why you want to look at coaching more than just setting goals and getting your action steps to move forward towards your goals. And you want to look at spirituality as something bigger than what you are currently looking at. Perhaps there are some other words other than God. Perhaps you're using higher power, perhaps universe, perhaps spirit. Perhaps there is more to spirituality than what you know right now. And I would love to discuss them both. I would love to combine them both. And I would love to give you some actionable steps. So please stay until the end, because after having done two different doctorate degrees in the world of metaphysics, I have a lot to share with you about how you can become somebody with a coaching mindset, still has a shiny mind, and still talks from the heart and absolutely grounded in science. I'm going to start with the definition of coaching. International Coaching Federation defines coaching as partnering up with clients in a thought-provoking and creative process that inspires them to maximize their own personal and professional potential. That's coaching. Yes, there is inspiration going on. Yes, it is a process. And then there is maximizing your potential. And then there is achieving your goals and becoming your better self. That is what coaching is. As an ICF distinguished coach educator, I have been teaching coaching since 2011, 12. And I have been certifying coaches in 6 continents, in more than 50 countries right now. And what I can tell you is that coaching is a mindset. Coaching is not only a set of skills that you learn. It's more than that. It's bigger than that. It's a way of life. And it is also your style of living your life and fulfilling your purpose. These days, people are not just looking for productivity in their work life. They're looking for purpose. Without purpose, forget about productivity. Isn't that true for you? Don't you feel the same way? I come from that background. I was super productive. I was super successful. I was not in the world of coaching. I was in the world of marketing and advertising. And something was missing. And then I kept asking myself, what is my potential? I know there is something more that I can achieve. I know that I can actually do something greater about my life. I don't know what it is, but I'm not feeling fulfilled. That is where I am coming from. Are you also in that spot with me? This is where we are today. In the year of 2025, we live in a world where, as human beings, we are waking up to the fact that we are more than what we do, more than what we say, more than what we see. We are more invisible than visible. And that is where it's going to connect to the spirituality part. Before I get there, though, let me finish the coaching aspect. The reason why I want you to look at coaching as something beyond coaching is because nobody knows the true definition of coaching. Even though you're listening to this episode right now, perhaps you heard the definition, you're kind of like, oh, okay, I'm going to just, maximize their potential. And it's a creative process. Okay, I got this. I'm just going to, tell my clients what to do, and then I'm going to guide them, and then I am going to have a great session with them. No, that's not how it is done. You're not supposed to tell anybody to do anything. That is against the idea of coaching mindset. That is against my understanding of freedom and your understanding of freedom. Trust me, you do not want anybody to tell you what to do. If you want to become your most delicious version in alignment with the truth in your heart, you don't need any other opinions. You don't need anybody to tell you what to do. This is exactly what we have been suffering from as the human family. We are all telling each other what to do, how to feel, what to say, what not to say, what to wear, which school to go, what to study, what kind of degrees to get. Yes, you need to become a doctor. Oh no, lawyer, engineer. No, we have wisdom within ourselves. And that's why coaching and spirituality merges in my world. At the Academy of Neuro-shine Technology, the way that we teach coaching is absolutely going to blow your mind because we use coaching almost as a tool. And we love coaching because it really helps everybody to look within. It's an internal process. It's the inner enlightenment. And when you come from that mindset, okay, I'm actually coaching people not only to help them achieve their goals, but more than that, I'm here to guide them to tap into the truth within them. They have their own light within. They are cosmic galactic beings that have forgotten who they really are. And I'm going to use coaching to wake them up, to actually remind them who they are. I'm getting goosebumps. I'm going to empower them, inspire them so that they can remember why they are here, why even they chose to come down to the planet Earth with a purpose. I'm here to remind them their purpose. And that is how we look at coaching. And if you would love to learn more about coaching, please make sure to download my free PDF and the link below. And then I'm going to also link it here. And also, before we go to the spirituality side, please put a like and share this episode with others and subscribe for more videos like this because we need to wake up. We can only do it together as a humanity with the level of frequency that we bring, with the level of enlightenment that we bring. And then together we can shine brighter. All right. So please like, subscribe, and share. And let's now talk about the spirituality part. Spirituality can be seen as this woo-woo thing, right? Oh, come on, I have my own religion, so I don't need anything else. Well, first of all, I would love to invite you to look at what your religion is all about. Isn't it all about what you are made to believe? I know I am inviting you to challenge your deepest assumptions, and I have a purpose for that because we need to wake up, okay? Religion is there for us to wake up to the cosmic light within us and remember that we are part of the same thing. Okay? We exploded from the same nebula. We are one. We all are one. We are just different aspects of each other. In my second dissertation, when I looked at the metaphysical psychology behind human behaviors, I saw the same thing in my research again and again and again and again. Religion is a structured way of reminding us who we are. It's a structured way of putting the information together so that we can connect the dots and then we can just have a wake-up call. The purpose of religion is not to put us in a box and then forget others. And this is something that I have never understood. I don't do religion, by the way. I believe in love. My religion is love and light. I cover all religions. I studied all of them as part of my metaphysics, almost all of them. Let me not say all of them, actually. I studied a lot of religions. I studied a lot of ancient wisdom. I studied incredible concepts and scientific theories, including quantum physics, including the self-aware universe, and how mathematics is actually proving that what we see as reality is really not the reality, including the Nobel Prize winners, quantum entanglement, proving that we are actually forever entangled. We have never been separated. Division is actually an illusion, and then we're all one. So I can talk about these stuff all day, all night, right? That's why I did 2 doctorate degrees in metaphysics. And metaphysics is all about spirituality, whatever is beyond physicality, metaphysics. That's what it means, like beyond physics. Because I wanted to study the invisible. I knew that in this thin air, there was something magical. And there was something super unique about the way that we were using this thin air, just like Wi-Fi. I mean, if you can understand the Wi-Fi, you can really understand how we are always one, we are interconnected. Our thoughts can actually be read by each other with telepathy. We can actually tap into each other's feelings, emotions, worlds, and we can actually connect at a deeper level. It's all the same universal Wi-Fi that we are connected to. And it's not different than the Wi-Fi that we are using to go online and search for something. You can actually go inside your own inner world and then search for something. It's the same thing, okay? It literally is the same thing. And then that's why meditation has become such a trendy activity these days. If you're not meditating, you're missing out. If you're not meditating, you're not tapping into who you really are. So please understand that you have everything within you and you have that light within you, just like every one of us has. We have forgotten about it. Okay. And that's why spirituality is more than religion, is more than what you believe in, because whatever is here, the consciousness in the fabric of the universe is here. It doesn't require your belief sets. Okay. It doesn't require us to believe in it. It is already happening. Okay. Whether you believe it or not, whether you say, hey, you know what, this is my religion, I don't believe in anything other than that. I understand. I understand why you are where you are right now. I totally understand. But there are stuff that are pretty mind-blowing that you may be passing on. And I just am inviting you to open up. Okay. Just have an open mind and an open heart. And now let's dive into the bridge between coaching and spirituality. And let's talk about 3 practical tips that you can apply every single day to not only coach yourself with spirituality and to tap into the light within, but also to look at the science behind coaching and the science behind spirituality and see how they are intertwined. All right. So, tip number 1, since I stated meditation, my number 1 tip is going to be meditation. You cannot go wrong with meditation. Never, ever. Because meditating perhaps is a very foreign word to you. Perhaps you can just like reframe the word, or perhaps you can use another word. Perhaps you can say, I'm just going to do a closed eye session with myself where I just focus in my inner world and nothing else. Or perhaps you're just going to say, okay, it is time to do my self love corner. Okay. Perhaps you're going to say, okay, it is the peaceful moment. Okay. Whatever you want to say, it doesn't have to be meditation. The name of the activity is meditation, but the idea, what you're really doing is turning down the voices in your head and lowering your brain activity, literally with the brain waves that are measurable, and tapping into alpha, ideally theta, and then really letting go of anything else and then going within, connecting with yourself at a deeper level and with the universe, which is a part of you and which you are a part of. Okay. So that's that. The reason why it is my number one tip is because it's not only a spiritual activity, but it is actually a scientific activity. There is neuroscience behind it. If you've ever experienced Dr. Joe Dispenza, he talks about it and then he measures people's brain waves and what is really going on when we meditate and then how we are really tapping into something greater than ourselves, to the higher power, and then making magic happen. There are people creating miracles, healing themselves, jumping out of realities. And then I've had my own personal experiences that I can share in another episode, but they are real. I'm telling you, they're real. Like when you meditate, when you really focus on the invisible, the universal power, you just you just experience magic. You're like, what is this? Like, what is going on? Like, how am I able to see what she's experiencing? Oh my goodness, shininess. And then you do. And then it like by doing it again and again and again and again, like it becomes normal. You normalize these things and then you just like, okay, that's my new normal. So that is why meditation is the number one tip that I want to give you. You can really go look up the science behind it with neuroscience and heart science, because there's also the heart rate variability that affects on top of the brain waves, and how your neurons in your brain and your neurites in your heart, they keep communicating, creating true alignment. And then when you do the breath work, which actually slows down your brain waves and then helps your heart to pump the blood at a certain level that keeps you in that level of state that is required for you to go galactic, in my language, to meditate and tap into your truth within. All right. So let's talk about your tip number two. My tip number two is for you to live with question marks instead of periods at the end of your sentences. What do I mean by that is when you are in a conversation with someone, including yourself, keep asking a lot of questions. Okay? That is the coaching mindset that you're going to bring. You started with meditation, right? That is the spirituality, although it is super scientific. Okay? Spirituality is not scientific. Okay? It's super scientific. So now I'm going to add the coaching mindset to it, and then they're going to merge. They're going to get married. Okay? When you bring your curiosity, when you bring this question mark in your pocket, like everywhere you go, you carry a question mark with you. And that question mark is going to be a part of you and is going to help you connect to people with curiosity, not with fixated opinions. Okay. You already need to shatter your fixated opinions. There is a concept called growth mindset. if you want to have a growth mindset, if you want to grow, if you're always growing, you cannot come from a fixed opinion. You cannot only believe in one thing in one reality and everybody else is wrong. No, that would be super wrong. If you believe that you are the only one who's right and everybody else is wrong, let me tell you, you are wrong. Okay. Because everybody is right, including yourself. In the infinite universe, we have infinite possibilities that everything can be right. Okay. We have gazillion ways of being right, not one way. That would be super limited. Okay. That would be like an insult to the infinity of this amazing universe. Okay. So, for that, the tip that you want to put into your pocket, the question mark, needs to remind you every time you find yourself in a conversation, in a communication, in a meeting with somebody, get curious. Okay. Ask them, that's a very interesting approach. How do you believe it? Explain to me. I want to understand. And then really sit there to understand. Okay. I promise you, you're going to experience a whole new world. I promise you. Okay. So that's that. And then obviously, when they share their experience, their perspective with you, because you asked, you got to listen and you got to give them the point of, wow, that's very interesting. And then you can either go deep in your questions with the question mark that you have been carrying in your pocket, or you can just say, oh, I never thought it that way. Here's what I thought. What do you think about what I think? Right? Then you can have a conversation, but at the end of sharing what you think, you're still asking them what they think. So there is still a question mark. If you start communicating like this, I promise you, you're going to have a breakthrough, a huge transformation in your conversations with others, starting with yourself. This has been the case with every single student that comes to my world, that learns the coaching skills, that understands what it really means to listen and to give people the space to express themselves. We all have the freedom of speech. Okay. Your expression is unique to you, and you have the freedom to be able to do that. And that is the coaching mindset. And the science behind it is not only neuroscience, hard science, positive psychology, or emotional intelligence, but there is also the hardcore truths, the physicality of chemistry. Okay. Because when you come from very hard, fixated opinions, it feels like a rock, right? You're like you're throwing a very, very big rock at somebody, and it hurts. Like there is a hard chemistry feeling, that it is edgy when you are in a conversation with someone, when you feel that they are fixated, they're not open, they're just only seeing it this way, they cannot see these other sides, then it's going to be heavy. I know you felt it. I know you understand what I'm talking about. We all lived this, right? We all experienced this. And this is what I'm talking about. That is what we need to shatter. That's what we need to destroy. This is all gone. This is all 1979. Okay? We need to wake up. Shiny minds. This is 2025. We need to wake up. We need to wake up. There is no more one perspective and your perspective. No. Everybody has their own perspective, because that's exactly the point. The universe wants to experience itself through us, through you, through me, through your friends, through other people on the street that you can't understand, you never want to understand, and you will never ever want to get in there. That's the point. That's how the universe can experience itself in multiple gazillion ways. That's the whole, I know it's incomprehensible with our human brain, perhaps, but it is what it is. It really is. And if you want to know more about my metaphysical studies, please go ahead and go to my website and grab the PDF form that I have for you. And you will also be able to see my contact information so you can contact me to know more about all the stuff that I teach. All right. So now let's talk about your third tip. Okay. Your third tip to connect coaching and spirituality so that you can marry them and you can expand your thinking, like stretch your neurons and experience neuro-shine moments, as I call. My third tip is a cherry on top, and it's going to transform your whole life if you really, truly apply it. Are you ready for it? Here it comes. This is the ultimate mental filter, which you need to ask yourself a question to apply that filter. Okay? And the question is, here's the question. Am I the victim in the situation, or am I the conscious creator? If you are the victim in the situation, you're going to find yourself reacting. You're going to be defending, you're going to get anxious, you're going to get angry, you're going to be sad, mad. In the moment, you're going to react. Okay? You're going to be hopeless, guilty, shameful, angry, whatever that is. There will be an emotional reaction. If you are reacting to life, to circumstances, to people, you're the victim, my friend. And I know you don't want to be. So we're going to talk about the other option, which is your coaching connection to be the conscious creator. Why is it the coaching connection? Because you're going to be coaching yourself in the moment. You're going to remind yourself that there is your own cosmic light within that you can tap in, and then you can marry that spiritual light, that cosmic light, with your super scientific and smart, intelligent coaching mindset. And you're going to connect it to neuroscience and neuro-linguistic programming and heart science and emotional intelligence and positive psychology. You're going to merge them all. And then you're going to ask yourself this question: am I the conscious creator in the situation? And if you are the conscious creator in that situation, you're going to find yourself not reacting, but being able to pause and respond instead. Not react, but respond instead. Okay? Reaction is where you let go of your control. Somebody else took over you. They have a power over you, and you are the victim of whatever that is. Hard truth. Hard truth, my shiny mind. You don't want that. I know. Yet, how many times we find ourselves to be the victim of our circumstances, right? So we need to remind ourselves that we are not the victim. We always have the power. We just need to remember, and we need to switch the gear to the other side where we say, hey, you know what? I'm going to remember my spirituality. I'm going to coach myself. I'm going to marry them together. I'm going to bring this scientific approach that, hey, I have the free will, and then I have my own positive thinking, and then I can actually meditate my way into my responsiveness, and I can control it. Okay? You have the power, you have the control, and your brain is the ultimate machine that runs this whole human outfit that you have, and you are in charge of that. When you are able to grasp that belief, then you will always remember, okay, I'm the conscious creator. I'm not going to react. I'm going to respond. How would my best self, my ideal self, my cosmic galactic self would respond to this? If I had lived this thousands of lifetimes before, if I had learned the lesson from this thousands of lifetimes, how would I react differently? And who would I want to become? What would I want my legacy be from this action step, just this attitude, this response? Okay. So many questions I can insert there because that's where the true power lies. There you go. So I hope you loved this whole episode where I wanted to combine coaching with spirituality, as I always combine the power of the mind with the wisdom of the heart for us to truly tap into the truth within and maximize our true potential. Spirituality is all about maximizing your moral potential, your ethical potential, your invisible potential. And coaching is all about your physical potential, your potential in this 3D reality, your potential about who you can become, what you can do with this human outfit, how you can make a difference for others, what kind of behaviors you can become as a role model, and what kind of values you can represent as who you are. And I'm getting goosebumps as I am repeating all these things to you. And I hope you loved my 3 tips as well as meditation, question marks, and obviously, are you the victim or the conscious creator question. If you want to know more about coaching, obviously, come check us out at shinyinsoul.com. Just get the free PDF download. You can also go look at my upcoming cohorts and join one of those. We are always looking to grow and make this world a better place with upcoming coaches who want to make their difference in the world, who want to become a part of this moment together with us. So you're always welcome to join us. And thank you for liking, sharing, and subscribing to my channel, my dear Shiny Minds. Thank you so much for allowing my light to enter into your neurons. And until next time, keep shining your light.
Go galactic.
Go galactic.
Then you're in the right place.